Keep composure when it gets hard. Stay composed. Push hard, come on. Push, come on. Pull, let's go. Come on, good, done. Welcome back to the channel today, guys. We got a special moment. I'm here the first time with my athlete, Eddie.
Hey, how's it going?
We just did a show almost, what, 8 weeks? Same time. Yeah. I competed at the Masters Olympia. The same time he competed at his second show, the first time we competed together. And it was really cool, is we got to prep together for both our shows. So it was really cool. So now we get an opportunity to actually train in person. So we're gonna bring you through his push day today. Cues I'm gonna be using today will be ones that you guys can apply to your own styles as well for your next time you're training upper body. So let's get into it.
All right,
let's go. All right, let's go. So if you put your hands straight up in the air, we're looking at like gravity. That's straight. So when you're talking about like dumbbells, free weights gonna do only challenging work when it's in its plane of your vertical pull, right? Your vertical line of force, right? So coming this way. If we start doing this, right, we're pushing away from that end. And we're making it harder for no reason, right? So we wanna keep this. Now shoulders down a bit, there you go. Here, and that's where you wanna feel. And you feel this from here. You see the difference between this and here. So make sure we're pressing straight to here, right? So fist, wrists, and elbows underneath, coming down from here, right there. And that's where we're pushing from here, now push up. Exactly, right? So if you're able, even if you keep your gaze to the ceiling sometimes, right? Yeah. Check in the mirror and check in the ceiling, make sure we're pushing straight up and we're pushing properly, right? Push hard, right from the ground. Good. One more. Push. Cool, down slow. Big stretch, dump it. You're negative?
Yeah.
When you're doing these?
Yeah.
Really good, it's not a good trick, but when I do like my negative, if you watch my feet, when I'm pressing, like my feet are honestly almost like I'm pushing through my toes. I mean through my toes and my heels.
Yep.
So on the way down, I'm literally pressing, and this is making the weights lighter. Oh. When I take this off, it makes them that much heavier.
Okay.
Right? So when we're kind of not active from here, we're kind of just doing this. Like it's not like you're not active, but you're just not engaged from here. Think about being engaged from here, push into the floor. So on the way down, I'm pushing my butt into the bench, but almost pushing into my quads in my legs. So it looks like I'm doing this almost, but I'm not. Ah. So on the way down, I'm pressing into the floor while I'm balancing the weight down. And then at the bottom, then I'm pushing in the ground too again to push up. And I'm always pushing through my feet.
Okay.
So keep active from your feet.
Okay.
So when he gets underneath from here, he'll be able to unload the weight and he'll already be under a load. And then when he racks, he can easily rack it in here if you're doing standing instead of having it just on the hooks. If he bails anything early, he's safe, he's here. So we want to be like, say like, if anything, at your shoulder, right at your collarbone height, or right where your hands can be sinking underneath. So then you're doing a pull-up. Okay. So pull all the way down, so where your elbows are naturally there, that's where you want the rack to be around. So when he unloads the weight, he's gonna be here. And then when he racks the weight, he can just dump the weight here. So just basically do like a pull-up, and that's how close you want the weight to be. So like around this. You don't want it to be higher than this because every time you go down to your lowest part, you're gonna be hitting the rack every single time. Unless you're doing pin press, then right now we're not doing pin press. We're just having these up here to be for safety only. We're doing standing overhead press. But we also wanted to make sure he's under a load the second he unracks the weight. No one builds a house from the roof first. Foundation first. So when you get in, I want you to be like an athletic stance or anything close to like maybe feels like your conventional deadlift. Okay. So we walk up here, like a little bit outside shoulder width apart. So I'm here and I'm active, right? A little soft in the knees, hips are back a little bit. So when I unrack the weight and get underneath the weight, I'm in a good position from here. Then I'm strong from the waist here, and then I'm up, and then I'm down from here, and then my legs are in a good athletic position instead of being kind of like, this and then kind of tight roping. Yeah. Be active. So if I can move, if I was going to be deadlift position, I'd be deadlift like this. So from here, right? So I can dip under the weight, hips back, unrack the weight, and press up. Press. We're just gonna load it from the ground a little bit. So
Okay.
that's why you want to be in a better athletic position. Because if we're stiff in the legs and we're stiff in the hips, if you want to get another rep in, we don't have nothing to kind of cushion us.
Yep.
So we want to be in a position where we're here. But if I'm like, you know, I get a rep and it's coming out, and you're here, I can be from here, push. Right from here, and then I can use my hips back a bit just to push the weight up. And you're using a little bit of momentum just to help push the weight up so you can control the weight down. That's the only reason why we use a little bit of a cheat rep. That's not necessarily cheating. It's more so like doing a push press.
Okay.
But we do those things so we can get the positive, so we can get the negative on the way down. Because the biggest part of this, which is going to create more growth here, is the weight coming down, the stretch part of the lift. Right?
Yeah.
At the base of these, you should be tight like you do in a pull-up as well too. So the bottom here, you need to be tight down here. That's it. Let everything rest on here at the bottom. That's it. Push. 3. That's it. Good work. So up on your, get your butt in here.
Okay.
But keep your chest up, and we're gonna right down. It's like see the angle of the
Yep.
right. I want the angle to be exactly aligned with my arms of the cable. Right, I'm pulling up. Here. Right. Yeah, straight behind it. Behind the weight. There you go. Even a little more at the top. I want you to think pushing right from here.
Yep.
There you go, and right in. Shoulders down. Good. Keep it down. 3. Push. Good. 2. Push. Good. One more. You got it. Push, push, push. Squeeze. Out slow. Big stretch to the bottom. Big stretch. Good. So the big difference between doing this and doing this. If I'm like this, I'm not going to be behind the weight because you look at my hand. I'm looking like fists, wrists, and elbows right now. Like if the weight's here, if I just do this, the weight is no longer in behind. I'm not behind the weight. The weight's not in front of my shoulder.
Yeah.
So we want it to be here. So when we're going out, right, this weight stays behind the entire time. Right? So I always have this push coming from here, not coming from like this.
Okay.
So think about being like here. You should be able to feel this part of your hand. Like that meaty part here.
Yeah.
Like you don't really even need to close your hand. I would for safety anyway.
Okay.
But we want to be behind it. Like I'm keeping that meaty part of my hand, this part behind the weight the entire time. So it's here and it's pressing, right, from that way. So open up and pressing, right? So from here, we're open up, stretch, and then we're behind the weight, pressing, right? And that's what look like at the end, not like this. Here, we're not gonna go all the way here, but it's going to be here.
Okay.
Down, chest staying up the entire time. Speed on the way up, controlling it down. All right, speed on the way up, controlling it down. Right, and keeping your chest up here the entire time. So don't try and pull this thing with this, pull with this. Connect this to this. All right, go ahead.
All right.
Big chest. There you go. That's it. Up with speed. Good. Elbows up nice and tall. Pull out elbows. That's it. There you go. So the biggest mistake people make when they're doing any kind of lateral raises is they dictate the pull from the hands. And it's very normal because you're attached from the hand. That's where our sensors are the most. Our fingertips from here. This is what we think is actually doing the moving when it's not. This is what's doing the moving. This thing is moving this. This thing is attached to this. So this is just the accessory to this bone. So when we're pulling from here, we want this pushed away, right? Still active in the elbow. I don't want to be locked out and doing this for the weird, but I'm gonna be here and active from here. But when I'm pulling, my elbow is doing the pulling, not my hand. So I don't have to do this kind of stuff here. And I'm like this, I'm trying to lift it up. I want to push out with my delt and my elbow extending. So it goes all the way. And if you look at my hand at the top, my elbow is on the same plane as my fist at the top here. Shoulder, right, elbow, fist. Should all move the same way, not that.
Okay.
Right? You guys probably seen me, myself, or Doc Mike do a version of upright rows. An upright row is basically, it's a clean, right? So what we're doing, right? So this part is very clean. We're doing this upright row, a little different variation of it where we still want to make sure when we're pulling this thing up, we're pulling with elbows, right? Elbows are pulling out to the side. It's basically like a lateral raise.
Okay.
Right? This is a front raise. This is a lateral raise because my elbows are going to the side. So typically we would be doing an upright row like this. We want this thing to be more in front to here and then down. Right? So we're raising it up in front, a little bit in front, up to our ears, and then controlling it down.
Okay.
Right? Eye or ear level. From here and controlling it down. If you see, I'm pulling with my elbows.
Yeah.
My elbows stay on top of the weight. They're pulling it out and up, out to here. Right?
Yep.
And then down. Right? So our goal is this coming out. Right? Remember, this is the accessory to this bone here. This thing here helps us do different movements. But don't overemphasize this part and take away from this job. Anytime the arm goes out to the side, it's a lateral raise.
Yeah.
Right, but we think because the arm's in front of us, we're not doing a lateral raise anymore. We're doing a lateral raise. And just we're putting the weight in front of us a little bit there, right? So remember, the elbow's dictating what's going up and down, not the wrist.
Okay.
So don't think doing this and pulling from here. Think we're pulling from the elbows. There, better. That's it. Control it up and down. There. 4. That's way better. See the elbows come to the side. If we didn't look at Eddie from the front and you just looked at from this angle here, it would look like we're doing a lateral raise. Because exactly what we're basically doing is a lateral raise.
I go up and just go like that.
Ah, nice. Good work. Good. And one more. Done. Good. Walk back. Down. Elbows back. This thing rise up your chest. Right? We're getting full extension, full flexion in the elbow, and then pushing down. So the elbow is going back. Right when it's here, we're letting it come up a bit, elbow staying there, and then pushing right down. If I'm literally like this, I should be able to stay like this.
Yeah.
And do this. Right?
Oh, okay.
Right? So we don't have to be up like this, we don't have to be back here. Just in an athletic position enough. Then remember the elbows, for this thing to come up, the elbows are going back. And then when they're here fully back this way, then we can have them come up. The elbows are still going to push down, and then here, right? Elbows back, up, here, and push. And then make sure those wrists are strong here. So we don't want at the bottom, our wrists kind of doing this weird little like limp thing at the bottom. They stay underneath. Remember that part of my hand, when we're doing the flies, should be able to stay underneath the whole time. Keep composure. When it gets hard, stay composed. Push hard, come on. Push, come on. Pull, let's go. Come on, good, done. So if you guys out there want to know what a hard set looks like, it's super simple. If you can control the weight for your first 3 reps, the tempo, and then at the end of your set, the tempo does not change from those first few reps in the beginning, your set is not hard enough. You should be struggling and fighting with the bar or the weight or whatever it is for at least like a few reps. But if your reps don't change in tempo from the first to last, you're not working that hard, right? And there's a fine line between picking a load or intensifying a set or whatever and just being egotistical. So get a load and then make sure when you're training that you're seeing a few of those reps. You're fighting the bar, you're fighting yourself, you're making sure that your weight is actually like you're struggling with it. You should be struggling with the weight for at least a few reps, at least. those reps the negative he couldn't sustain the negative anymore. That's one good way to look at it. If you can't sustain the negative, you're not going to be able to actually do the positive. That's why you should always emphasize the negative, because that's where we're going to get a lot of the growth anyways, that negative onto the session portion of the lift. But if you can't control the negative, if we're like this, and basically like he was, if your first rep is like this, right, and then we're bam like this, and then all of a sudden by the last few reps, it's starting to go faster because you can't control it, you won't be able to actually get the weight down, right? So if you can get the weight down every single rep, number one, you're either not emphasizing the negative, or two, it's not hard enough. My man Eddie here.
Yeah, that was fun.
Absolutely killed the workout today.
Yes,
very
sir.
proud of you.
Thanks.
Many more preps. Even though I'm retired, I won't be doing any more preps with you, but I'll be coaching you in the next prep anyway, which I'm excited about because we're bringing this guy to the next level for next year.
Yes, sir.
And hope you guys took some of these cues and apply them to your workouts as well too. You'll definitely apply it after you've watched this. And you guys know how it is. Iron sharpens iron. Progressive overload your life. In the meantime,
Keep dream chasing.
that's right. Peace.
Later.